and I am from Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan. I look after the engineering patents, prosecution filing, and all technology related inventions. Coming to the Indian situations, let me just tell that general legal framework. There is a section 2 and section 3 and section 4. The section 2 deals with defining what is patent. Patent is simply defined as, patent means patents granted for invention as per the Patent Acts. So it introduces the new sub-item called as invention. Then the invention is defined in, again, section 2 because it's a definition section. And invention is defined as any new process or new product which has or which involves inventive step and capable of industrial applications. So it introduces 3 more words: new product, new process, that is new, that is novelty. Second, involving inventive step, and third is capable of industrial applications. Both inventive step as well as capable of industrial application is also defined in the Act. So there is a clarity on both the aspects. Section 3 defines what are not inventions. So the Act itself sculls out what are the areas that cannot be treated as an invention, and the judicial interpretation of this is that irrespective of it satisfies the other conditions of inventions like new product or new process or having an inventive step, there is an overriding criteria that these inventions or these subject matters will not be treated as an inventions for this Patent Act. Then there is a section 4 which says that the inventions which are not patentable. So in the section 4 they have clearly said that anything to do with the nuclear technology is not patentable. So when I come to some high-tech areas which are related to aerospace, automobiles, life sciences and ICT, that is essentially computer implemented technologies, what is more important is that there are certain sections which are in section 3, which are subsections, what are not inventions, which are 3D, and these are very well discussed in this particular GIPC. These are new forms of the known material. They are not inventions as per the Act. Second part is that there is anything which is related to the process of medical treatment. So any process of medical treatment, and that means the products related to medical treatments are patentable or are inventions, but the process for treatments are not inventions and therefore not patentable. And lastly, it is any form of plant or animals. They are also not inventions as per this. Having said this, then we come to the main criteria, what has been discussed here related to computer related inventions. There is a section 3K, and 3K is worded slightly differently than the EPC. EPC claims that first it defines that they are not patentable. For example, computer programs, algorithm, business methods. I'm not sure whether algorithms, not, the word is itself not there. But in India, the words like mathematical method are not inventions. Algorithms are not inventions. Business methods are not inventions, irrespective of whether they are as such or not as such. There is no qualification of as such. There is only one computer program is qualified with a word equivalent to as such. The word used is per se. So there is only one common thing between EPC and India is that computer program per se or computer program as such are not inventions, which means that if the computer programs are not computer program as such or per se, they are patentable. And that is what is more interesting. So when I come to these 4 categories and which are specific to India, and to answer these questions, I would like to first say that there is no such as jurisprudence which is basically set by High Court or by Supreme Court. There are two cases by IPAB, but it's a tribunal. It does not have binding force, but it can be used basically as an example to convince the examiners. I'll now come to one by one. And before I come to one by one, I would like to just give my theory or appreciation of what is computer-related inventions. So I divide computer-related inventions into two parts. Computer-related inventions which are related to the general purpose computer and the inventions thereof. And second category is computer-related inventions which are implemented by specific computers and not special purpose computers. So these two distinctions when I make it, in the general purpose computer I find that there are inventions. It does different type of solutions. The solutions probably general purpose computer may be deployed to do the complicated calculations, purely mathematical calculations. Probably a difficult calculations, you would like to find out what is the number. So all the operators are also numbers and the result is also numbers. So that is purely mathematical calculations. Then I come to the business method. Again, all over the world, business method is not precisely defined as much as the abstract idea. It is basically, and again, the technical. The word technical is perceived rather than that it is specifically defined. It's just like aroma. What is good for you may not be good for you. So that kind of differentiation in terms of business method is there, but one case which is Yahoo case, where there is a business transactions involving cash or involving money, is treated as a business method. Generally any commercial transactions will qualify for business method. That is what I feel, drawing the clue from various decisions in the US, UK, Europe. I feel that India also will follow. If such case comes for adjudication, such cases will be treated as business method. Then we use also general purpose computer for the purpose of solving a particular technical problem. I would like to optimize what is the point of presence for designing my network topology or network architecture. So I give various parameters, I feed various rules. Based on the rules and based on the parameters, I get a schematics saying that these are the locations. If you locate your POPs, it will minimize your cost of operations and it will also minimize your cost of investment. Now, this is also an application which is implemented over a general purpose computer. Now, this is a typical where whether it will fall into the algorithm or not is what we have to see, and for which there is also not a very accurate definition of algorithm. What is given in the guidelines is too broad, so that no method applications can be patented. But when we discuss with the controllers or examiners, no, we don't discuss with the examiners, it is only with the controllers, we generally have an agreement that there is an Oxford Dictionary definition, and this definition particularly we can look at it, which says that a process or rules to be followed in calculation or other problem. Now the difficulty arises, calculations, okay, it's a mathematical problem, no issue. But what are the other problems? And these other problems may get categorized into this problem of optimization. So this is a gray area. I am not suggesting that it will not be patentable. I am not suggesting that it will be patentable. But definitely it is likely to fall into algorithm, and we will have difficulty in arguing with it. Because whether it is implemented on computer or otherwise also, it will be treated as computer, because there is no such bar as per se or as such. Absolutely if it is an algorithm, it will not be patentable. Question comes, what is not algorithm? Then all methods will fall into algorithms. As long as this is, then there is an IEEE definition, and this is what I argue normally with the controllers. A finite set of well-defined rules for the solution of a problem in a finite number of steps. Again, it defines solution to a problem by using finite steps and finite rules. But it gives, for example, so by way of example, it says a complete specification for a sequence of arithmetic operations for evaluating value of sin x for a given precision. Now, from this we can say that generally when you have such steps and it is mainly to find it out a particular value or particular function, and that function can be for optimization or for the arithmetic calculations, that method or that process can be treated as algorithms. Otherwise, the law will be absurd. On one hand, you say that the methods are patentable. On the other hand, by saying that algorithms are not inventions, you are creating conflict. So, court will generally view this harmoniously, and they will come out with this solution which I have said it to you. So, this is the answer that I would like to say. But I will take little further and enlarge, then you can ask the question. I was saying that then as you go higher, then the next level of general purpose computer implemented inventions we encounter mostly which make changes in the operating systems. Essentially, if you read the invention, you find that this is not an application sitting on the operating systems, but it is change in the operating systems. And generally, we have been successful in convincing all the controllers that as long as it is change in the operating systems, it is changing the character of the computer by itself, it is improving the computer, it is making the computer better, and therefore it is patentable. At least the hit rate has been 90 to 95% of such cases. Then we go to the other easier case, that it is again a general purpose computer, but it is operating a machine or a technical process. Again, it is an 100% rate. Question is that when you give the explanation in writing, most of the times, whenever there is a general purpose computer, the controllers are not satisfied unless and until there is a hearing. So I have seen a trend that almost 100% hearing is called for. You should ask for hearing, and in the hearing, when you convince or when you explain that this general purpose computer, what it is doing and what it is not doing, the way I have explained to you, we have to say that it is not doing this, it is not doing this, it is not doing this. So by way of negative elimination, we are able to satisfy. The controller also see, are you trying to push something which is not patentable? So they also try to see the body language and genuine approach that is adopted by the attorneys.